Oh, nice. Portions of this episode were brought to you by The Container Store. Yo, welcome to Hard Pass. I am your host, Jacques Slade. It's the show that reminds you to always make time for your daily exercises like Tom and Isabel.
Anthony, you met me at the perfect time.
Aww, that is so cute. Can we get another clip?
This is America.
I wonder if there's a song that people might find annoying. Yep, there it is. All right, let's start with some hot takes. With families stuck at home and vacations canceled, people are finding creative ways to bring the experience of being at a theme park in their backyard. Take this one family who recreated Harry Potter's ride in Universal Studios.
Hermione did it! They're flying! Keep up, Ron! Sorry about that. Those benches can be a bit dodgy, but we haven't lost anyone yet.
Hey, you lot! Haven't seen a dragon, have you?
This has me wondering if we can recreate SneakerCon somehow. I'll just get a few of my sneaker YouTube friends and fans on a giant Zoom call and make it feel even more real. The fans can have their moms in the background waiting for it to end. Yeah, that should do it. Drake released a new mixtape called Dark Lane Demo Tapes, which sounds like something I would title a playlist for a girl who broke up with me in college. It's got the Tootsie Slide, a handful of new tracks that I'm sure people won't be deconstructing over the weekend to find out who he took shots at. Nope. Everybody's real mature and out in the open during quarantine, figuratively speaking, of course. Looking forward to a podcast breaking this all down for the sneaker blogs to jump on every little mention of Nike or sneak diss of another brand. I'm sure it's there somewhere. A quick strike version of the Nike Air Force One React is here, and I don't see A$AP Rocky or Nelly endorsing them. Anybody? Hello? Like the Ultra Flyknits, these new Forces are going to be way more comfortable than those white-on-white bricks the old heads love to wear. But I get it. It's harder to throw an Air Force One React quick strike into a song. Like, can you imagine, give me 2 per so I can get to stomping in my Air Force One React quick strike. Big boys stomping in my Air Force One React quick strike. Just doesn't hit the same. Jay-Z and Roc Nation are not fans of deepfakery, it seems, as they have filed copyright claims against a YouTube channel that produces computer-generated speech. In Hov's case, the AI made a video of his voice reciting Shakespeare.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
Yeah, I can see why that's dangerous, especially in this fraught nation of ours that believes anything shared on social media, but I kind of want to hear Jay recite, say, the Al Pacino speech from Any Given Sunday or any Macho Man Randy Savage promo. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, they could pretty much shut down the channel after that, I guess. A New York man, never to be mistaken for a Florida man, and you'll see why in a second, is suing a restaurant who fired him for not wearing Air Jordan 1s, which were made part of the uniform late last year. According to the suit, the man alleges the owner is forcing him to wear the 1s even though he suffered an injury from a previous car accident, and 1s are notoriously cool but also notoriously not comfortable. Okay, not accommodating somebody's injury because you want your customers to know that your employees are hype beasts is a weird ask, but I want to know more about this Jordan 1 prerequisite. Can I wear a non-OG colorway? Are unions too much of a flex? Can I switch out of the insoles with lunars so my feet don't feel like death at the end of the day? Are mids frowned upon? Like, so many pointless questions with possible interesting answers. You won't see stories like that with Florida man, who is mostly pointless and occasionally shirtless to our great sadness. We here at Hard Pass would like to send our warm regards and well wishes to the legendary designer Tinker Hatfield. He celebrated his 68th birthday this past April 30th, the same day as Travis Scott, but I don't expect Tinker to be on TMZ being pictured celebrating in a brand new Bugatti, You'd think Travis would at least be wearing a Cactus Jack branded face mask considering he sold everything else this past week as part of his Fortnite collab. And no, the neon one from the Jack Boys cover doesn't count since it doesn't follow CDC guidelines. Anyway, Hatfield is best known for his work on Michael Jordan's signature shoe line, starting with the Air Jordan 3 and every pair MJ wore in the NBA since, with a few notable exceptions here and there. Tinker's influence extends to just about every category of Nike, from classic runners like the Air Max 1 to influential trainers like the Nike Air Trainer 1 to iconic tennis shoes like the Nike Air Tech Challenge 2. Notice that there's a lot of shoes there with numbers early in the cycle. That's because Tinker's design laid the foundation for many of the shoes that we enjoy today. In fact, we as a sneaker community owe a great deal of thanks to the Hatfield family because Tinker's brother Toby is also a designer at Nike and famously developed the Nike Free line. Recently, the brothers collaborated on the Nike Air Max 90 Fly Ease, which features a collapsible heel for hands-free wear. Man, seeing these two icons work together reminds me of other legendary sibling teams like the Mario brothers. I mean, Tinker is obviously Mario because his work is literally everything. The Nike Air Mag, that's Tinker's Mario Galaxy. So does that mean the Nike TW13 and 14 are Toby's Luigi Mansion, an underappreciated classic that will only get its due years later? Probably, and as an aside, maybe take those spikes on the TW15 out and Tiger will finally have a casual shoe people will care about. But back to Tinker. I just don't feel like we give the man his flowers enough. Yes, it's true that when most sneakerheads are tasked with naming the designer, Tinker Hatfield is the first and often the only name that comes to mind. But sometimes even that doesn't hold true.
Who is this guy? Oh, that's like George Washington or something.
The guy who invented basketball? Is that the Adidas man?
Creator of the Adidas shoe?
Looks like a director.
I think he's an actor.
That's Phil. He look like he a politician or something.
Man, what was that? I feel like doing a Stephen A. lay off the you-know-what after watching more than a minute of that. But that's what I'm getting at. Tinker needs to be on that Spielberg level. In the movie business, directors who break through are as celebrated as the actors on the screen. For example, the moment you see a trailer with the words Christopher Nolan on it, you are immediately intrigued, even if you can't figure out why Denzel Washington's son and the new Batman are messing with time travel. You also wonder why in the hell Tenet, Nolan's latest movie, still hasn't delayed its release date when Fast 9 and other blockbusters moved theirs back to 2021. But that's neither here nor there. Tinker practically saved Nike when he presented the sketches that will become the Air Jordan 3 to Michael Jordan, who at the time was planning on leaving the company for Adidas. He deserves more than a feature on Design Boom every few months. No shots at Design Boom, I actually admire their work and their allergy to capital letters. Tinker's name should be on the box label of every sneaker he has worked on and will work on in the future, like a shoe by Tinker Hatfield, the Nike Zoom Vapor 9 Tour, or Air Jordan 11, designed by Tinker Hatfield. Although, to be fair, Tinker's name used to be part of the Air Jordan 11 packaging until Nike decided to ditch the plastic covering a few years ago. Still not over that. By giving Tinker his due props, we open the door for other designers to get theirs as well, and hopefully in time, they become as heralded as the athletes who wear the shoes they put together. The GOAT moniker gets used so much that it has lost all meaning when talking about music or sports, but when it comes to sneaker designs, there is only one person that can hold that title with zero dispute or debate. So happy birthday, Tinker. Our feet are forever indebted to you. All right, now for a word from our sponsor. Yo, big shout out to the Container Store for sponsoring this video. As you can see, they actually have a new drop front cases. They have them in red and blue, but they also have them in clear and in black. They're actually all on sale right now for the case of 6. You can get those for 25% off. Don't need no code or anything like that. Just go to containerstore.com right now. I'm a big fan of the red and of the blue. Say, for instance, you want to go with red, you can do here. Throw the Jordan 11 in there, and then it matches. So I think that's really clean. If you want to mix it up even more, you can rock with the blue, and then you have like a pair of Jordan 1s in there, which I think looks really clean. Just, you can actually mix the colors to get them to look the way that you want to. I have the blue here, I have the red here. It's totally up to you and how you want to mix it up. Again, they're on sale right now at containerstore.com, 25% off. Don't need a code or anything like that. Check them out and let me know what you guys pick up down in the comments below. All right, let's get back to the video. It's time for the heat check that has most of the week's upcoming releases. I say most because Nike is really testing my ability to have the sneakers app on at all times with these shock drops and early releases of retros. If somebody wants to crowdfund a second phone for me to take future L's on the app, I would greatly appreciate it. All right, first up we have the Nike KD 13 Funk. This drops on May 4th. The latest NBA 2K20 gamer exclusive is the KD 13 in a remixed version of the recently released Hype colorway. The gold chain graphics on the upper remain, but instead of butterflies, we've got flowers in their place. We have the Reebok Question Low Oatmeal. These drop on the 7th for $120. These were supposed to drop a few weeks ago, but they got moved back to the 7th. If I said it once, I'll say it again. Don't sleep on these for your summer rotation, assuming we can leave the house this summer, of course. If not, then save it for next spring. You'll be glad you did. Air Jordan 34 Low Heritage. These drop on May 7th for $165. It doesn't get much more old school than a black, white, and red Air Jordan. This low-cut version of the 34 will probably come and go with zero hype, but if you're looking for a new basketball shoe to hoop in isolation with, you cannot go wrong with the latest from Jordan brand. Then we have the Nike LeBron 17 Up-Tempo. These drop on the 8th for $200. LeBron isn't afraid to go back to Nike's back catalog for inspiration, and the latest signature shoe borrows from the iconic Up-Tempo line in the Chicago Bulls style colorway that you could easily see Scottie Pippen rock if he was playing in today's NBA. We also have a restock with the Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Flax. These drop on May 9th for $220. If you missed out on these a few months ago, the Flax colorway is getting a seemingly out of nowhere restock in Asian Pacific territories. Now that Kanye is a billionaire story starts to make sense. Make dozens of seemingly identical colorways, sell out of the initial run, and restock them in random spots every week. We'll treat them like new releases each time because, the demand is there. And then for my pick of the week, it's the Air Jordan 1 Royal Toe. These drop on May 9th for $170. After an early release this past week that I was fortunate enough to catch, the proper release for the $170 Royal Toe is this Saturday. Yes, I will continue to harp on the growing price of ones even as I buy the colorways I want. It's a calculus I've made up in my head, and it makes sense to me. Don't ask me to show my work. All right. And now it's time for this week's Hard Pass, where we take a look at something in the culture that just needs to go. Like Aaron Gordon's diss track to Dwayne Wade after he was robbed yet again of another dunk contest win. Okay, not so much the whole track because, hey, we're stuck in our houses. It's hard to get a producer and a team together to work on music unless you're Drake, apparently. But some of the lines in this thing just don't add up. For example, 6 years in the league, just wetting my feet. If you're a 4th overall pick in the NBA with 6 years of experience, Aaron, your feet better be soaking wet in cash and accomplishments because you're a veteran. He got one of the two at least. But by year 6, Dwayne Wade was dripping in money, championship glory, all-star appearances, and T-Mobile sidekicks. So yeah, D-Wade may have robbed you, Aaron, but you're picking a really, really goofy fight that you can't win. I feel your pain, man, but you gotta let it go and come to the Lakers in a few years. We could use someone with your skill to back up Anthony Davis. By the way, if anybody wants to send over a highly sanitized D-Wade sidekick, shoot me an email. Anyways, this week Hard Pass goes to Space Jam, a movie that I happen to adore. Well, more for the amazing soundtrack than the movie itself, but you get the idea. Yes, I will cross the ocean and bring you the moon, Monica. I promise you, for you I will. Anyway, Space Jam. This past week, LeBron James revealed the title and logo to the Space Jam sequel. It's going to be called Space Jam: A New Legacy. If the title is anything to go by, LeBron James is setting his sights on becoming the Captain Jean-Luc Picard to Michael Jordan's Captain James T. Kirk. As you might imagine, this has 90s stands all in their feelings. And if there's nothing more annoying yet ultimately harmless on social media, it's 90s stands. You might recognize them from their incessant drooling over any new bit of information from the Last Dance documentary. Like, I get it, MJ is the GOAT. I don't need my Twitter feed to be a dozen or so people retweeting every obscure stat that proves he's better than LeBron. I mean, they're even critiquing the new logo, which looks like something straight out of a pitch meeting for the original movie. If you put these two logos side by side and took out the A New Legacy, I bet you most people wouldn't be able to tell which one was the original. Even worse, I bet you once they find out which logo belongs to Jordan and which logo belongs to LeBron, they're going to be like, oh, the Jordan logo's better. Here's the thing. I actually sympathize with fans of the original movie. Doing a Space Jam sequel seemed like the path of least resistance. Like, why couldn't LeBron have gone to Disney and pitched a similar movie, but with Mickey Mouse or Buzz Lightyear instead of Bugs Bunny? Or maybe work with Lakai Studios, the stop-motion animation house ran by Travis Knight, aka Phil Knight's son, and has produced cool movies like Kubo and The Two Strings, Coraline, and Paranorman. Honestly, if LeBron had gone to Japan and collaborated on a sick Dragon Ball crossover where he teams up with Goku and Vegeta to save 7th Universe from a crazy basketball god, the internet would have lost their collective minds. But a Space Jam sequel? Remember when I told you I liked the soundtrack better than the movie? That's because the movie was just okay. It wasn't an animated classic like Toy Story or Spirited Away. It was an amazing technological feat since Jordan had to work mainly in front of a green screen and around dudes in green suits, paving the way for how most Marvel movies are shot now. I can't help but love the cameos by Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, Bill freaking Murray. And did I mention that I love the soundtrack? And then there's the Space Jam 11s. But the movie itself, it's not worth the grief LeBron is catching right now. But then again, there is a reason LeBron is where he is, and I'm here making a video about why it might not be a good idea. LeBron, Maverick Carter, and the rest of the James' production company probably believe that enough time has passed where adults who have nostalgia for the Space Jam name will take their kids to watch A New Legacy. And enjoy it for what it is. They're the majority who don't have an undying devotion to MJ and spend all of their days white knighting him on social media. Space Jam: A New Legacy will probably just be okay like the original, make a lot of money, sell a lot of toys, and have a killer soundtrack. Personally, I just wish LeBron would have branched out a little further, like the Dragon Ball idea. I would have been all in for a LeBron AD fusion. All right, that's going to do it for the show. Thank you guys for watching Hard Pass. I am Jacques Slade. I'll see you next week, but not before I show you some leaked footage from Space Jam: A New Legacy. Ha, gotcha. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.